Okay, good evening, everyone. Yeah, so last time we introduced Bootstrap and we are able to look at the grid system. Yeah, so we came up with something like this, and we looked at container class, creating rows, creating different like columns and giving them different width. And we said the grid system has 12 columns within it. So as you are assigning columns in one row, you have to ensure that they add up to 12. The way you see 2 plus 8, 10, then this is 12. If I adjust this one to maybe 4, then I can also give this one, let me say also 4, then this 4 too. Yeah, so when you add up this, you get 12. Yeah, then we said container has you can have class container or container fluid. Container fluid uses full width like here, then container leaves some padding on the left and on the right. Yeah, so today we are going to look at something very, very, very important. The meeting is going to be short. It's not going to be too long. It's going to be short, but what we're going to cover is very important and it's kind of hectic. Yeah, but we shall try to follow. It's called navigation bar. Yeah, now we may not be able to cover everything about it, but at least we're going to learn about the concepts. Yeah, so it happens that for every website, maybe this one, our reference website, that is W3 Schools, you find that there is a navigation bar on top. Yeah, with different, like it gives you room to search for different things. Like when I click on tutorials, I get a big mega menu. Here, when I click on references, I get the same. So that is their style. But you find others which are like maybe minimal. You don't have to have a lot of things. Maybe if we check for MDN, this, see theirs is like this. When you click on this, then the drop down is this way. So this is what we're going to cover today only. And actually, we can't even finish it all. It has a lot and a lot. Yeah, but like we said, you can always come here. Though here you'll find mostly about CSS, but we said Bootstrap is CSS, which has been already written for you. So in case of anything, you can always consider revisiting your CSS. Yeah, so let's get started with that. We're just going to put a navigation bar on top. Yeah, so there's a kind of difference. How can you know? We said you can always reference to the official website, getbootstrap.com. Then you come to docs, then search for nav bars or just navs. Yeah, so you see nav bar, stock nav bar. Then there's navs and tabs. So these, they are kind of different. But in order for you to come up with a very great nav bar, you must understand navs or navigation, how navigation works. Yeah, so there are different ways of approaching, but what we're going to come up with is something similar to this that you're seeing right now. This, yeah. So I request that you follow very well. Yeah, don't lose track. I'm going to go slow. I don't want you to lose track. It's kind of a lot, but when you follow very well, you not lose track. Yeah. So first of all, yeah, here we, okay. The page was like this formally, like here, like it was, the row was total on top. Yeah. Now what I'm going to do, it's not the better way of doing it, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create some room where we can create the navigation bar or the navigation. So I'm going to create a new container inside here. And he said, how do you come up with a container? As long as you call it class, then I'm going to call it container so that it just occupies, it leaves some padding on the left and on the right. Yeah. Then I'm going to put some space. I'm going to put like 3 breaks. Yeah, but this is not the better way of doing it. But I'm doing it because of a reason. Like the better way of doing it is kind of hard for us to dive into it, but at least we can go about it the way we're doing now. Yeah. So when we check our site, now I've got some space. So this is where I'm going to be putting my navigation bar on top of this. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to write it inside here. Yeah. So there are rules that govern how you write web content. And how can you know about those rules? By going to a website called W3C. Yeah, this one, World Wide Web Consortium. So it is the one, it comes up with policies that governs structure, which HTML tag should be used, which HTML tag should be counted obsolete, like how should you write your CSS. Now you can write things and they work out on a web, but when you're not following the standard. So when you get some time, you can come and read through. It is a lot, it's kind of like laws. Yeah, you come to standards, then you can see web devices, web architecture, semantic web. Like they give you different guidelines. They set standards. Yeah, so as you write in code, you should validate with this. That's why I saw the last time when I was validating my code, I used to come to this site, then I look for validators. Yeah, so they are the ones that tell you, yes, what you've written is following the rules. Yeah, so we're going to write some things following the standards, yeah, according to what they say. It's not the only way of doing it, but that's what they recommend. And they recommend it for a certain reason. Yes, so now we're starting. Yeah, according to that W3C, when you're writing a navigation bar, or as you're writing a navigation, it is better to put the items that are going to be on the navigation, like these ones, in an ordered list. Yeah, when we are covering HTML, we looked at unordered list, and that unordered list could look like something like this. You have UL to mean unordered list. So that now, that means you have a list of items which are just bulleted. That's what it means. So within it, you have list items which are inside. So I can say this is item 1. Yeah, then I have another one that's going to account for item 2. Yeah, then I look at it here. Yeah, so we can see it, item 1 and item 2. Yeah, so a navigation bar or a navigation should be written as an ordered list. Then more classes are taken. It is a Bootstrap or CSS that comes and style this one in a certain way that shows that it is a navigation item or like it is a navigation bar. One of it is, as you write, we said everything should be wrapped around an ordered list. UL, unordered, like UN, then ordered, unordered list, not AN. Yeah. So as you write in the unordered list, you just have to add a class to show that this is a navigation bar, or that is this is a navigation. So just say class nav. So it will know that whichever is written in this list follows on the navigation bar. Now there are very many more classes which come, but this is the base. Like this is the biggest concept. This is what shows that now we're writing a navigation bar. Okay. Yeah. So after that, 2, now the items on the navigation should be put in the list. Remember, we have an ordered list. So every item there is a list. Yeah. So the home, we have home. Yeah. We can have about us, contact us, all those should be put in a list. Yeah. But before we do that, following the rules, within that list, we should put a link. Yeah, like we should put a link using an anchor tag. Yeah, so for every item, it should be in a list, but within a list now you have like a link, an anchor item. Yeah, so that is just one item. So the rules are like this. Now we have an ordered list. Then for every list item, we should have anchor tab. Yeah, the anchor element that will be showing that this is linking to a certain thing. Yeah, so Now I just put hash. Hash means that when someone clicks, just refreshes the page, just stays on the same page. Yeah, so here we can have home. And then we're going to create another like that. But before we do that, remember these are items within a navigation bar, so they have to be identified. So within the list, within LI, you have to put a class called nav item to show that this is an item on the navigation bar. Yeah, so for everything, write nav item on the, for every list item, you type it inside, it is an attribute inside LI, not inside Anchor. Then when you come to the link, for it, it takes a class called a nav link to show that this is a link on a navigation. Yeah, so we said you can have as many attributes. We know href represents what do you link to. Then now we've introduced a new class called nav link to show that this is a link. It is a link on a navigation item. Then li shows this is a list item, but when we add the class called nav item, it shows that it is an item on a navigation bar. Yeah, so that is the base, like those are the base building classes. We have very many of them, but those are the ones that we're building on top of them. So now I create another list item, li. So here I've just completed one, it stops here. That is one item. It should be wrapped around an ordered list, but having a class nav. Yeah, so we write another one. We know that in this, we have to say that class, same thing, class is a nav item. So I have this nav item. Yes, then within it, I should add an anchor link, and that one should have a class. That class should be called nav link. Yeah, then you put maybe about us. Yeah, then others are just going to be additional classes. Let's first write this. We have a look at how it looks like. Yeah, we just put 3 elements just for now. You can put 3 elements, li, a. You can copy and paste code, but it is a good practice to type your own code again, just to learn. So if you make mistakes, no problem, just find where the problem is, why it is not working, and you work on it. Errors are part of code. You can't write very clean code all the time. It is not possible. Yeah, so don't fear that what I've written is not working. No, just find out why it's not working. So now when you try to check on it, yeah, now this is it. So behind, if you try to check that min.css file, you'll find that it does certain things, like these classes are coded in a certain way that maybe with the color blue, like all the contents we see here. When I try to overwrite it, you see that this changes to a cursor. Yeah, so now we have it, but we can have more things. So this is the basic, like this is a basic navigation item that you can have, or the navigation bar that you can have. Yeah, now others where the logo is this side and what is this side, those ones we can look at them later on, as long as we understand this one better. Yeah, so now other like classes that come in is in case I want to put that navigation. Now before we go to that, on these items you have to show which one is active. Yeah, so here when you try to open any page, like their home page will be active and will be having kind of different color. So in Bootstrap, how is it done? You just go to that navigation item like this, and you say this has another class called, you just add active. So this one means that the one we've given active is the home page. So if home is the one that is being given active, like here, now that means that is the page we are on. Yeah, that's what it means. Yeah, then now there are more other things you can do on here. You can add more classes. One of them is in case you want to have tabs, you just say nav tabs. Save it. When you look at it now, there are tabs. You see when I try to hover over it, let me try to zoom in here. You can see that now I have tabs like that. Yeah. Now I can have another style called Nav Pills. Yeah. For them, they kind of look different, just that now we need to do more kind of settings about colors and all that. Okay, let me see. Oh, sorry, these ones are supposed to be done on here, not in the container. That was just a mistake. Sorry, they are supposed to be given here. You see an ordered list where we have nav. Then this is where I put nav tabs. Yeah. So now I have the tabs. So let me go. I put nav, and I say now I want pills instead of tabs. They kind of look different. Yeah, they look different, but we need to do kind of more modifications, which we're not going to go into. But those are some displays. In case you just want a normal, like these links, you just leave it to nav. In case you want tabs, you just put nav tabs like that, then it will change it to tabs. Yeah, you can see when I hover over, it shows that they are tabs. Yeah, then we're just going to leave it to nav like that. Now, what if we want to send it to the end? There's a class called justify content. Yeah, it's called justify content. Yeah, now in Bootstrap 3 and 4, they say right, left, but in 5, it's called end. If you want to put it in the center, just say center. Yeah, now you can see that it's centered there. Yeah, if you want it, by default, it is at the start, so we don't have to do that. If I want to put it on the right, they don't use right, you use end. Now you can see now it is on the right. You look into some other code. If they are using Bootstrap 4, then they call it right, justify content right. But now here they changed it to either end and center or start for certain reasons. Yeah. Now you may want them to be, this will come back. You may want them to be like in a column. Yeah. So you just say flex column. Yeah. Why it is possible to use flex? The other time we covered a flex box. Bootstrap depends a lot on the flex box. Most of the things are designed as flexes. Yeah, like when you look into the CSS, it is following flex. Yeah, so now this will change it to be vertical, like that. Yeah, so yeah, but for now we don't want that. Maybe we just want to leave it at the end. Yeah, so we have our navigation here. We're not going to have a logo here. That will be for another day. But that is the basic navigation. So now we're going to add in something that you need to be so vigilant about. Like, but if you want to add a drop down, how do you do that? Yeah, now like here, okay, we can come here to get into Bootstrap. We try to look at their site. Now you see the tabs are like this. Yeah, maybe what I didn't show you, sometimes you can have links like you have another item. Let me just duplicate this one here. Yeah, but I'm going to call it maybe gallery. Yeah. For some reasons, you may want to disable that link. For now, it is working. It is there. It is working, but you may want to disable that. Someone can't click it, like it is disabled. You just add a class. You just add a class called disabled. Yeah. Come back here now. You can see it has changed color, and when I hover over it, it doesn't show that it is a link. Yeah, so that is disabled. That is a disabled item. Yeah. So now this is how pills look like by adding nav pills. That's how they look like. Yeah. Then Yeah, that is it. Others, you'll go and like exhaust. You just have to come here to this documentation. It is clear enough for you to understand what they are talking about. Now we just want to look at the drop down. What is a drop down? Like something like this. I click on it, then I get other items. Yeah. So this, you need to understand two things. One is how does the drop down work? Like just a simple drop down. How does a simple drop down work? If you want to know, yeah, like a simple drop down, not including like a link, a drop down anywhere, you can just search online and say Bootstrap 5 drop down. Yeah, then visit any site. It can be their official site or W3 schools, any. Yeah, then they will show you that in case you need a drop down, you add this class, add this, and add this. Yeah, they will show you. But here, the most important things are there are two. When you just want a simple drop down, leave around the menu and all that. It's just adding a class called drop down. Yeah, this class called drop down. Then each item, like when you click on drop down, these are items. So all these items, they will take a class called drop down item, like this. Yeah. So other things they are kind of similar to the way we've come up with the navigation bar. Yeah. So as we want to create a drop down, it should have a class drop down. It should be wrapped around drop down. Then each item should have a class called drop down item. Drop down item. But guess what? This, like here, we already have a navigation bar, which is an ordered list. Like it is a list of items. But when you click on the drop down, also this is an ordered list. So it is embedded in just a single list item. Like within a single list item, we're going to have an ordered list. Yeah, let's just do it. But I need you to follow it. We're going to try to repeat it very many times. It's kind of, yeah, it may be a little bit hectic. Yeah, but this is how you start it. Fine, we have a listed item. Yes, and we said every listed item should have what? A class called navigation item. Nav item. Yeah, so that is an item. And again, it should have an anchor tag. And within the anchor tag, we have a class called nav link. Yeah, we shall have nav link. Okay, then also href. Yeah, so we add it, let's call it, okay, more, just more, so that when someone clicks on more, they see other things like more pages. Okay, more pages. Yeah, like that. So we add everything. This is missing. Yeah, it's just refreshing. Yeah, so this is the same thing we've added up here. So let's check. Yeah, it is added there, but it is not. We want to turn it into a drop down. Yeah, so all we need to do is now adding the other classes for drop down now into this same list item. How do we do that? Now within the list item, you need to add a class called drop down to show that this is a drop down. Yeah, like that. We go back, it is not showing anything yet. Okay, what else do you need to add? Like on the list item here, we've had nav item drop down. Yes, it is a drop down. Now on that very item, like here in the link, we already have nav link, but now we have also to add another class. That class is called drop down toggle. That one just shows something that there's something that's going to drop down here. We check it now. It is not showing anything. Now let's add that class called drop down dash toggle. Yeah, we check it now. It shows that is the one. This is a drop down toggle. I click on it, nothing is happening. Okay, no problem. We need to do more things. Yeah, so we have that. Now there is another. It's a special element. For now, I want it to just ignore it, but know that it is important, like it is required in order for you to come up with that drop down. Yeah, we shall explain it later, but it is written by putting data dash. I'm not going to explain everything, what it means. I'll explain later. I don't want us to go so much into detail. Now just understand that it is required. Data dash bs dash toggle, then you add drop down. Yeah, for this one, just it's not going to change anything, but it's going to allow us to come up with our with our navigation or our drop down. Yeah, so once we're done with this, it's supposed to be inside the quotes, drop down. Yeah, like that. Then you can also add another one, it's called role. Then you show that it is a button, but it's not going to style it in a button, but we want it to behave like a button. Yeah, so that is like optional, but it is better to have it. Yeah, again, nothing is showing. Why? We've not yet added our list of the other item that should show up once someone clicks on drop down. For now, what we've done is that we've said that this item is going to be a drop down. Yes, but now we've not yet added the other list of items that are going to show up when someone clicks on it. How do you add them? Yeah, so how do you add them? You see, this is a listed item. It is a nav item. We have LI within an ordered list. But what we're going to do, we're going to embed an ordered list on that list, on this list item. Like here, I'm going to put an ordered list inside the list. Yeah, as the list is going on, I'm also going to put another list. So it's just embedded inside there. Yeah, and I call it, yeah, like that. So I guess you're trying to get it. Fine, we have this big list. Then on one item, we've embedded that list. And this one is going to have items that are below. When someone clicks, those items come down. Yeah, so these are some of the classes that they need to have. One, it should have it on the top of the UL, the unordered list, you should put a class called a drop down menu. Yeah, to show that this is the drop down menu. Yeah, so that is the class you need to put. But now we also have now to write now the lists. The items come as lists. Yeah, so you have lists LI. Then within that again you will have A. The way we've been having it up there. Yeah, so within this, nothing is supposed to come here in LI unless in the way we are doing here. So other classes will come inside the anchor tag. And one of the classes is called, these are now items. So they are drop down items. So you write class is equal to drop down item. Drop down item to show that it is an item on the drop down. Yeah. Then others are the same things. href, it should link to something. Yeah. Then here I can say maybe link 1, the first link. Yeah, then I add other items, so I can duplicate this. Can duplicate this. I just save on time. Yeah, we know it should have class drop down item. Yeah, so this is link 2. This is link 3. Yeah, so now we're going to check it out. If it is not working, in most cases, it is spelling error. Like you've not written a certain class well, or you've not arranged them very well. But let's test it out. Come click on it, they are showing link 1, link 2, link 3. That's how you come up with a drop down. Said we have this big list UL that goes under navigation class. Yeah, then these are navigation items, like an item on a navigation bar. Item. Now on this item, when you click on it, it has a drop down. So that drop down shows now another unordered list embedded into that listed item. Then also these are drop down items, like that. Yeah, so that's how you build a navigation bar. Now we've left something small. Yeah, but like what rules can tell you is in case for everything to be taken as a navigation bar, because you can design the same thing, but maybe in the middle of the page. But now what if we want to, how do we recognize that it is a navigation like bar? What you can do, you can wrap all this unordered list, this big list, into a nav class like that. Just nav, instead of div, you just use nav. Yeah, but that will come in later. I wanted us to first stick in this one here. Yeah, it's not going to change a lot, but like when the rules say that. So now we have a navigation. Now we're not linking to anything, but you can create another page and it links. Maybe I can duplicate this one. So let me say this is, I'm going to copy all that code and I create a new, let me just create a new called about us.html. Yeah, then I put the same code. We shall put something to show that they are different a little bit. Yeah. So now I can come here. Then on about us, I link to that about us.html. So when I go there and I click on about us, it has gone to another page. Just that now we can't see. We can go back and change something onto about us. And maybe we remove some container. Let me remove all this container. Yeah. So we go back. Now I'm on home. Okay. I need to show that home goes to index.html. So how do I do that? I can come back here. Now this on the navigation item. Now there is a way of always just ensure that it is the same. But for now, let's just hard code it. Like when I'm on about us page and I click on home, it should take me to index.html. Yeah. Then when I click on about us, it should just come to about us.html. Then I can do the same here. When I'm inside here on home, it should be on index.html. Yeah. So now let's check it. Click on home. Now I can see this. Click on about us. I can see this. So there I'm changing pages. They have different content. Yeah, that's how it is done. Even if I was to use this, I can just go and change the address. Then it goes to another page. Just that now here I'm putting hash and it's just refreshing to this. Yeah. So yeah, that's how you write a navigation bar. Today I've used the CDN. I've used the link, this one that links online. Yeah, but you can use like the other link into the item, like a file. Just that now I can access internet and I'm sure I'm always accessing it. So that's why I'm just using the CDN. Yeah. So before I go over it again, do we have any questions? Anyone with a question?
Thank you, Mansoor. About the unordered list tag, it used to put a dot when it is listing its items. Which function makes it drop the dots? Because I'm seeing like where you put link 1, link 2, link 3, it doesn't come with those dots. Maybe you can highlight me on that.
Yeah, now there's CSS, like this CSS has already been written for us in what? Okay, in Bootstrap. The moment you add that class to a link, like the moment I added that it is a drop-down item, it's going to remove the bulletin and it will know that it is just an item on the drop-down. Yeah, it's just some CSS. You can write your custom CSS to remove that, but maybe you'll make more research on that. But the moment I add the class that it is a navigation item, it's going to remove the bullet.
Okay, thank you. I get it.
Yeah. Okay. Chirabo is asking, how can I change the size and position of my letters for home, about, and contact us? Yeah, these ones you can change by custom CSS. Yeah, you can write a what? You can add a class. Yeah, now I've not covered what they call a navigation bar like in detail. When I come here and I search for nav bar, here there is nav bar, then there is nav tabs. We've covered this, but when you come to nav bar, you see that it has more other things. Yeah, and some include some little knowledge about like JavaScript, just some small JavaScript. Then others go into like using forms. Yeah, so I don't want to introduce a lot of like classes in just one session. You can see there is a lot that is going on in order for you to just come up with something like this. There are very many classes. I don't want to introduce all of them like right now. But in case you want to increase like the size of like these texts, you can come up with your custom CSS. I can come here, custom CSS, and call it a name. Maybe I can call it dot increase, maybe increase size. And I say font size. Yeah, maybe you can put custom, like maybe 20 pixels, like that. But here there is what they call large, larger, what? So let's go with large. So I know that now I have to include this increase size in whenever I want that thing to take the same. So I can just come and put it like here. First of all, I can test it here because home is here. I can add it here. I can first add it here and I see. If it works, then I can put it on the above level. Okay, like this. Yeah, just home. So let's look at home. Has it increased? No. Let's add it. I save all increase item. Okay, let's check. All right, now here it may not work. Why? There is what they call specificity. Yeah, we shall cover it once, but it's called selector specificity. Like I've changed something here, but also Bootstrap is recommending some other thing. Yeah, so that is what can avoid it. But let's try also another thing. Okay, let me just put here 20 pixels like that. Try to check and it doesn't change. Now, what Bootstrap has specified is overriding what we are specifying. Yeah, so for that one, you'll have to look into how you increase using the Bootstrap. But it's mostly involved with the nav bar, which I've not yet fully like exhausted. I don't want us to go into that right now. There are very many classes that are involved. Yeah. Then what I wanted to try out is with custom CSS, you can come and say under every unordered list, like here we have an ordered list. Within the list item, this is how the selector is written, like in unordered list, but a child of yeah, every child there. So we can put this, and you see if it doesn't work, then it's because of the specificity I've told you about. Yeah, it's not increasing. So the CSS in Bootstrap is overriding whatever we're writing. Yeah, then you just have to find out which class, like which other class they use in order for them to increase like the size of the navigation. Yeah, but there are more other classes, but for now I wanted us to stick on that. There are more classes. How do you give a background color? How do you attach a logo like on the left? Then you put other items on the right. Yeah, but it is too much to just cover now. I want you to first get this so that you can design something simple. As long as you can design something that looks like this, then you're good to go. Then later on, we can look at other things. Yeah. So any other question?
Hello, Mansoor.
Yes.
I wanted some, it's kind of help. I wanted to find out how you can design that such, how do they call it? But that search button, eh? Yeah.
You'll check out here on their documentation. It is here.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll check out, but it is wrapped in a form. You have to come up with a form. Yeah, so you can see that on top we have nav. Like I've told you, everything should be wrapped around nav. In case you're writing a navigation bar, yeah. Then as you're writing items, then you have to add this. Remember, this is a search bar. Okay, like this is a text input. We looked at forms in HTML. So it is a text input. It should be wrapped around form. So you have to have a form tag. After a form tag, then within it, you create a class and you have to add different things. Yeah. So one of them is this deflex. Yeah. Then others, remember, as you're inputting, as you're writing a text box, you write input to show that it is a text input. Yeah. Then other classes that you add, which are from Bootstrap, is called form control. They have already been added in Bootstrap. They do some things. Then you add type search. The other time we could just say type text, show that it is the type of it. Then placeholder search. Then also there are others about label. Then also the button, there are some classes that you have to add on the button to show that they are classes from Bootstrap, which is BTN. Yeah, BTN, then this one, BTN outline success. They have different types of buttons. There are those ones that show warning. There are those ones that show maybe success. There are those ones that show information. So this one it shows like success. Yeah, then type submit like that. So you have to wrap it around the form, but you have to know which kind of classes do I call from Bootstrap. That's how you come up with it. Okay, you'll check on the formal these docs from Bootstrap 5. Anyone else? Okay, maybe another tip I can give you. Yeah, okay, it's not a good practice to just copy and paste code. But now if you want to test something, maybe I want to test this search. What I can do, I can copy this the way it is. I put it in my code, here after the ordered list, but before the nav. Yeah, I put it here. I save it and check out. Yeah, okay, it is working. It depends on the position I put it in after the navigation, but I just wanted to put it. Now, once I see that it is working, then I can go back and read the code. Like I can go back and see, it is wrapped around the form. Okay, I know the form tag. Class deflex. So I don't know what this one means. Like I'm just assuming. If I don't know what does this one mean, I just come here up and I search for it. Like, what does it mean? Then I'll read about it. Here, let me see. There, okay, this may not show me, or like it depends on the way I've copied it. Now I can just go to Google. I just type that, maybe put Bootstrap 5. Yeah, the one which is on top is that. Then there's also these other sources. You can always check out from others too. Yeah, now I've opened 3 sources. I'm just trying to show you how you can make research. Yeah, so here they show you, they try to show you, sometimes these ones can be like the technical documentation, sometimes they can be hard to read. For you, in case like you're seeing that you're reading about something and they're bringing out a new thing, there you can try the other ones which are not official. Yeah, so you come and see. What are they saying? You don't need to remember all CSS class, just use Bootstrap editor instead. Let's see. Okay, also those ones are not explaining it. Let's go to the next tab. Let me use this. Yeah. So now I come to this. Sometimes they tend to explain. I use flex classes to control the layout of Bootstrap 4 components. The biggest difference between Bootstrap 3, what they show you. Then they try to show you that class deflects this. It is working. Now you can try to read the like more information about it. That this one shows vertical direction. Like this, we used it. We use this one, flex column. Yeah, so it shows you, it displays the flex items vertically. Then you get to know, oh, that is what it does. Like that, this justify content dash star, it will justify the content. So these are different, like what you can add under star. There is start, there is end, there is center, there is between, and there is around. Then here they show you an example. If you say start, it's going to look like this. If you say end, it's going to be at the end. If you say center, it's going to be in the center. When you say space between, it's just going to justify them, putting equal spaces between. If you say space around, it's going to leave some space here and also at the edge instead of the space between. So now, like this, you're trying to see examples, you're trying to see what that class can do. So by the time you go back and write that class, you know what it means. And also as you go back, just try to test it around. Like just come here and put maybe flex column and you see how does it change your navigation like that. But if you just stick to what we've learned here, you're not going to come up with beautiful websites because there is a lot, there are different design styles, a lot of classes that are existing. There is a lot of content online. You just have to find a few sources, stick to them, try out something. Otherwise, if you just sit there and you just read without trying out, you're not going to learn. You just have to code. Make research, code, make research, code, make research, code. That is the only way you're going to learn. Yeah. So I think today we're going to end here. Yeah, we shall stop. We shall add on that tomorrow. And what we're going to look at tomorrow, you can make research about it. It's called Clausel. This one here. Yeah, when the images come and like when they're on the slide, like this, when they can come automatically when someone has just clicked on them. This is what we're going to cover. So if you have time, you can first go and try it out so that by the time I'm trying to present it here, you also already know about it. Yeah, you can write this with your own CSS, but we're going to use Bootstrap classes. We're not going to write our own CSS. Yeah, otherwise, have a great night. We meet tomorrow same time at 8:10.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.